I'm a little bit saddened. The reason why I'm sad is this is the last dragon before please don't make me do it. Please don't make me do it. This bad boy 9 by guys, this is the last dragon that's gonna be reviewed on the channel. I was hoping there'll be more dragons. I could kind of push this back, but unfortunately today's smoke, which is the Don Julio de los Reyes, is the final smoke. Today's video is a triple review with Midnight Cigars, also known as Eric, and Soy Sauce Assassin, also known as Tony. We're gonna get 3 different perspectives of the cigar, and if you click the mines first, in the description and in the pinned comments, should be in the pinned comments. If I forget, yell at me. But in my description, the first 2 names, I have a section in my description does kind of the same content as me, but the first 2 names will always be Midnight Cigars and Soy Sauce Assassin. If you want to see the other perspective of today's smoke, you will have to go to Soy Sauce Assassin or Midnight Cigars. They should have all uploaded the video at the same time as me. Go watch them after you watch this review. Lastly, we're at the very tail end, pun intended, of 1,000 subs. I have 2 cigars I would love to smoke for the channel. Once I hit, and give me a little teaser, once I hit 1,000, I'll be reviewing Ometepe from Plasencia. And I also have a Cohiba Spectre 2022 I have personally signed by Sean Williams from Cohiba. If you want me to review Ometepe and that Spectre, give me to 1,000. Once I hit 1,000, those videos will go out immediately. I'll review them and then get out immediately. Intro done. Let's get into the whole entire thing. This is a 6x52 Ecuadorian Habano, but binder and filler is filled with undisclosed Dominican tobacco. 800 boxes of these cigars were released, and the MSRP of each cigar is $28. It smells kind of earthy and woodsy. Also, each box, yes, it's 800, but each box will contain 24. The maximum of boxes created for this Chinese Zodiac holiday or year of, they made 800 boxes, 24 each box, and it being marked at $20 per cigar. It's not really unattainable. It's attainable, but make sure you're quick. Okay, let's just get into this. I don't want to destroy it, but this is like, I think so far, one of the prettiest band work for a year of projects. I don't know much about Don Julio. I'm not sure if this is a already used band, and then the only thing that's special is the foot. You guys might have to educate me on it. This is my first De Los Reyes or Don Julio branded cigar. Again, educate me in the comment section if this is a reused band like they did with Drew Estate, Davidoff, and so on. I'm gonna do my best to remove the foot band because I see a crack. Just giving you guys a heads up. Let's see. See a little crack right there? There you go. See a little crack? See that crack right there? See a little bit inside. So I gotta be very careful when removing this foot band. Oof. Ooh. I don't like that. That's already a point taken out for me. For the fact that the glue was so strong that it took a piece of the wrapper. -1 point. So this cannot get a perfect construction score. Don't want the fact how bands are so tightly on a cigar or glued too much or whatever they use to put the band onto the cigar where it actually could potentially destroy it. I don't like that. The foot is just woodsy and tobacco. It's like a plain cigar. Let's just see. $28, by the way, for the cigar. $28. You get a foot band that sticks to your wrapper. Okay. Wow. Dry pull immediately. I get cinnamon and spice. Wow. That's actually a little bit intense of cinnamon just from the cold draw. Wow. Okay, but that's all I'm really getting from the cold draw, just tobacco and cinnamon. The foot is like earthy or woodsy in tobacco, and then the wrapper is just like this woodsy note. Oh, and what time it is? That was a nice click. Not talking about the Adam Sandler movie Click, which was a good movie, by the way. I should make a part 2 of that. I mean, they're making another Happy Gilmore. He was at my local mall not too long ago. I believe they're filming Happy Gilmore 2. I don't know why. Like, New Jersey is a boring ass state, but we tend to get like things randomly shot in Jersey. Like, for example, Eminem Not Afraid music video was shot in downtown Newark, New Jersey. The Joker 2 movie with Joaquin Phoenix, one of the hospital scenes, I haven't watched the movie yet, I heard it was terrible, but I believe they're in a hospital one of these scenes, and was in Belleville, New Jersey. Then Happy Gilmore, most likely probably being filmed here in Jersey. Weird. Other than that, you never hear much from Jersey. You hear them referenced it like Newark Airport when you see movies that deals with, you know, New York. They don't want to mention, they don't mention JFK, they'll mention Newark. It's the only time we get like a little bit of representation from the Jersey heads. I mean, yeah, spice, like a pepper, earth. Like, I'll get a note and just dissipate from my palate. Maybe leather. I don't know. The taste goes away real quick. Hits my palate, but that spice kind of overbears your tongue, where it kind of makes it hard for you to actually taste anything. All right, I'm getting a little bit of like laurel. It's like it's watered down. It's very minute compared to what I'll expect. The spice is there, and it seems like that's all they're focusing on. There's a little bit of that, like a vintage tobacco style feel to it when it comes to the taste notes. It's something like old tobacco, maybe along the lines of oud, but I don't know. So far, it's just plain. You have this semi-sweetness that bursts once in a little, you know, orange moon. Orange moons are kind of common summertime, so it's not like it's not every puff you have that sweetness, but it's like maybe every third or fourth puff a sweetness comes in. Yeah, a little floral note was coming in. It's almost like vanilla. I'm not talking about like vanilla as in the ice cream, more like the vanilla bean. It's giving me that kind of feeling to it, where vanilla bean is a little bit more raw and more to the T of how vanilla smell like. Ice creams, some of them are artificial, but it has this vanilla tang to it where it's sweet, that has a little herbal essence to it. The cinnamon I got from the cold draw, it's not really coming in at the moment, unless it's the spice I'm getting. I'll see you guys in the second third. I made it to this point of the cigar. It continued for a while from where the cigar was kind of broken at. Now there's another broken section. But this was sent to me. Not saying it's the fault of the person who sent it to me, but typically cigars being shipped, it all depends on the carrier. We have FedEx, USPS, UPS. Some of them just kind of throws your boxes. If it's not labeled fragile, best of luck. Smoking the cigar, it's kind of underwhelming. And this might be a comparison where I might get yelled at by Tony, because this is one of his favorites when it comes to the Year of the Dragon line, and also one of my favorites as well. This is giving me a washed down version of the Gurkha's Year of the Dragon. You have a little bit of floral, but the spice is kind of being the forefront. That could be the cinnamon that I tasted from the cold draw. But the difference was with the Gurkha, you had the floral, you had the earthiness, you had the sweetness, you had all these different notes that kind of dance with your palate. This one seems a little bit one-dimensional, that you take a puff and it's like this little light floral taste, then the other half is that spice note, then the finish is like this tobacco note. And that's really all I'm getting. You get your stereotypical notes you get from cigars: earth, a little bit of leather, a little bit of woodsiness. That's like standard with some or most cigars. I'm trying to focus on the things that's outside of the norm when it comes to notes of cigars. I'm trying to see, okay, other than tobacco, other than woodsy, other than earthy, other than those elements, other than spice, what else am I getting from the cigar? And so far, it's just like this very floral bouquet. Not really berry. Berry is sweeter. We have this like earthy note to it too. That's a little bit bitter. Think about like a Sour Patch. The moment you consume a Sour Patch, it's sweet, then it turns sour. This one, it goes from sweet to bitter. It's along the same lines, but a little bit different. I mean, construction seems fair internally. Smoke output is good. Barely no resistant. It's not super loose like a straw. It's like a very minimal amount of tightness where it doesn't get you tired. There's some cigars where it's packed so tightly. The other day I had a EP Allegiance. That one was like, I had to strain. Like, it's like, you ever had a milkshake from White Castle? It was like that. I hate cigars of that nature. Yes, probably getting my money's worth. You know, it's packed tightly with tobacco, which is awesome. But there is a great ratio where you can enjoy a cigar that's not overfilled. I know people complain about underfilled cigars. Sometimes there's overfilled cigars. Yeah, with this second transition, that floral is quickly diminishing. And all I'm getting is just, I will guess would describe it as vintage tobacco. And even the spice went away. Now I'm just getting tobacco.
Sometimes there are things that get me down. They can be hard to deal with. But I try
earth. Yeah, tobacco and earth. And woodsy. Wow, for the last dragon too. I would expect a little bit of a oomph. Remember the band work being so nice. But with that, I'll see you guys in the last third. All right, I'm at this point of the cigar, basically last third. I don't know. There's times where it's good, and then it just goes bland. Like that first third was all right, wasn't bad. It was actually quite a little bit enjoyable in the first third compared to the second third and last third. Because typically when you retro cigar, even when you smoke a cigar, after you puff out the smoke, it lingers a little bit. This one doesn't really linger. You'll get some of the notes, like for example, this is the last third, basically the last third. Still have the hint of that spice, the very tail end. It will sit for a bit. The flavor notes dilutes almost immediately, and just that spiciness remains. And this very floral note is what is basically is what you get. But it's a very diluted floral note. And a little bit of sweetness. So if you're a fan of floral, then give it a try. For the dollar mark of $20 per cigar, I kind of expect a little bit more. You get the baking spices. The cinnamon was very prominent in that cold draw. I don't really get it anymore. I don't know. Let's just get into the whole dissection of what I typically do. Let's start off with the appearance. For the band work, again, this is my first time smoking a Don Julio cigar. I'm not sure if that's a typical band you get from Don Julio cigars. It's definitely a beautiful band. Dominicana, Don Julio, and then the Reyes Supremacy, the bottom, and then DJ in the middle, and Don Julio. It's a very pretty band. Then you have the foot band, which, you know, it's your typical red and gold with a Chinese dragon in the middle. It's not bad. The font they use is pretty cool. So appearance, I could give it maybe a, I don't know, 6. If that is a special band for the cigar, then I'll give it an 8. If it's a standard band for Don Julio, then I'll give it a 7. A lot of companies are doing unique foot bands or an actual unique band for Year of the Dragon, but the foot band is very tiny. It's all right. So if this is a unique band, as in like the actual band itself, if this is unique of the Year of the Dragon, I give it an 8. If it's not, 6.5, 7. For construction, I already told you, I'm gonna knock off 1 point because the foot band took a piece of the wrapper. But as you can tell from the top wrapper, nothing got taken off. Also, that's that little black mark on my middle finger is from a candle I lit up. But regular band did not take any pieces of the wrapper. Smoke output is good. It canoed a little bit. Even though it was kind of cracked, it remained fine. It did fix itself. The ash is mostly black, partly white, mostly gray. So I would give the construction 6.5 as well. For taste note, I'll give it a 4 because it's still consistent and one-dimensional the whole way through. That first third was a little bit more prominent with maybe a little bit other notes to it, but then the second third on was just its vintage quote-unquote tobacco wood style taste with the little hints of the floral and hints of the spice and maybe the cinnamon. And you know, you have the parts of earth and woodsiness. It's not really memorable. And compared to the other Year of the Dragons, it's a typical cigar. So I kind of don't value it at $28, but you guys will hear the true value of it on Soy Sauce Assassin's channel. He goes into what he believes the cigar costs. That's his shtick. I'm not gonna take that shtick, but I can include in my ends of my opinion. I don't think it's worth the $28. I'll leave it at that. So I'll keep it a 4 when it comes to the taste notes. But the cigar is a semi-ash, semi-trash. It's fine to be enjoyed if you're not really paying attention to it. It doesn't scream amazement. It's just standard cigar with a more floral base to it. That's really all it is. It's a spicy floral. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed today's review of the Don Julio Year of the Dragon from De Los Reyes. And as always, I love your faces, and I'm out. Peace.